Good morning, children. Hope you are all doing good. Today we will be starting with Act 2, Scene 1 of The Tempest. This scene begins in another part of the island. We meet Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and others. Now, as the scene opens, we find that King Alonso is in deep grief. He is mourning the death of Ferdinand because he believes that Ferdinand has drowned. His courtiers form two very distinct groups. We have Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, who are trying to comfort the king. They try to find good in what has happened to them. And in sharp contrast to this, you have Sebastian, you have Antonio, who are cynical and mocking. And they joke together, especially at Gonzalo's expense. Now, Sebastian and Antonio are continuously playing with language. They play with language in the first half of this scene, and audience in Shakespeare's times particularly enjoyed this kind of witty wordplay. Although some of the puns that are used are very obscure today, they will not evoke laughter. They seem to be outdated, and explaining the humor can kill the joke. But some of the puns, it is best to read through them quickly, making it very clear, keeping in mind the character of Antonio, Sebastian, and who is talking. Now, like if it is a speech of Antonio and Sebastian, you keep their characters in mind. Their character is cynical, they're mocking at others. So if you try to keep explaining these jokes, it becomes tedious. So when we read these jokes, keeping in mind the character of the person, the jokes make sense and the humor comes out through them clearly. Like whenever Gonzalo or Adrian or Francisco speak, they are sincere. They are sincere in their efforts to make the king happy or to make him feel better. While Antonio and Sebastian are always cynical, are mocking. So you can very easily judge their characters as, mocking versus sincere. So when you look at their speeches with that character in mind, you will understand the joke better. Now, Gonzalo says, "Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause. So have we all of joy, for our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the masters of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in million can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort." Now, Alonso being sad at his son's death, which he presumes to be dead, drowned. So Gonzalo is trying to comfort him, make him feel a little better. So he tells him, "Beseeches, beg of you." So he is requesting Alonso to be merry, to be cheerful, because he says, "You have cause." That is, cause means reason. So Alonso has a reason to be happy, and not just Alonso. Each one of them who's present there alive has a reason to be happy. So he says that Alonso should be cheerful because Alonso has a reason to be happy, and not just Alonso, but each one of them who's present there has a reason to be happy. For our escape. For means because. Why should they be happy? Because their escape is much beyond our loss. So whatever they have lost in this tempest, if you compare their escape the life that they have managed to save. They are still alive. Their escape from death is far greater again than the losses that they have suffered during this tempest. And he tries to prove to Alonso that the loss is not something which only they have suffered. It is a loss that many people can relate to. He says our hint of woe is common. That is, the cause of their sorrow is a common cause. Now, a common cause because every day some sailor's wife is mourning at the death of her husband. Every day some sailor of some merchant ship is mourning because he has lost a ship. And then he says that they have the same theme of woe. Same theme of woe is the losses at sea. That they are not just the only ones who have suffered the loss at sea. Some sailor's wife is mourning at the loss of her husband every day. So many ships drown every day in the sea. Some merchant loses his ship. So these people share the same cause of grief as Alonso and others are presently having. But Gonzalo asks him to look at the brighter picture. He says, but for the miracle. Now, what is the meaning of miracle here? So many ships get wrecked every day. So many people die at sea. So innumerable shipwrecks, innumerable deaths at sea. But it is miraculous that they have survived. It is few in million who can speak like this. Speak like this means few in a million are fortunate enough to survive a shipwreck and be alive to be able to narrate the tale of their escape. So he says, this miracle, I mean a preservation. That is, he is talking about this miracle, that is they being able to survive this shipwreck. He says few people in million are fortunate enough to be able to speak like us. Speak like us means they are fortunate enough to be alive to recount the ordeals that they faced at sea and the shipwreck and how they managed to survive. Otherwise, people who die, their tales are heard through mouths of other people or not at all. And then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrows with our comforts. So he asks Alonso to be wise, to be sensible, and to balance, to weigh, like on a weighing balance. On one side, you put something and weigh it with the other. So he says similarly, Alonso should weigh the sorrows that they have, the losses that they have suffered with the good fortune that they have had. And he will realize that their fortune far exceeds their sorrows. All right. So he says that he should be sensible to realize and to weigh that the losses that they have suffered far outweigh their good fortune that they have had. Now Alonso is not comforted. He asks Gonzalo to be quiet. Sebastian says he receives comfort like cold porridge. That becomes a simile, like cold porridge. Now, the thing that is being compared here is the comforting words of Gonzalo are as unwelcome to the ears of Alonso as cold porridge is. Now, porridge is best relished when it is hot, and when the porridge turns cold, it is not very appetizing. It is not very tempting to eat. So it is the comforting words of Gonzalo have been compared to a cold porridge. And just as a cold porridge is unwelcome, similarly unwelcome are the comforting words of Gonzalo to the ears of Alonso. So Gonzalo's words are equally disagreeable, unwelcome, or unappetizing to the ears of Alonso. Antonio, being a cynical man, says the visitor will not give him over so. Now, children, visitor was a priest who used to visit the sick and the ailing. Usually, the people who have been sick and ailing for a very, very long time, they usually lose all their desire to live. They wish to just end their lives. So, not somebody who has been ailing for a short time, but somebody who is suffering from some chronic long illness. Very often they become depressed, very often they become distressed, fed up with life, and they give up any hope of surviving. So, they just look forward to death. So, visitor is the priest who used to visit people in the time of distress when they had lost all hopes of living and would be looking forward to death. So, this visitor would often visit these ailing people, and he would talk to them. He would, make them see sense. He would light some hope in their hearts of living, looking forward to life, and all that. Now, this would obviously not happen in one visit. In one visit, the visitor would not be able to change the thinking of the person so much that he begins to have a desire to live. So the visitor had to pay many visits before he could actually pull the person out of that situation of despair, give him some hope to live. So he had to persevere. The visitor had to persevere. He had to continue going to the person, the patient, time and again, every day almost, to bring him out of that grief, that distress, and give him a hope to survive. So, just as the visitor untiringly, the word is untiringly, just as the visitor untiringly, without accepting defeat, he continues to visit his patient till he has aroused that hope of living in him. Similarly, Gonzalo is compared to that visitor who will not give up on Alonso. He will continue to keep comforting him again and again, till he is able to make Alonso feel better, pull him out of his grief. That was the work that the visitor did, pull his patient out of the grief and give him a hope to look forward to. So similarly, Gonzalo is that priest, that visitor who will not give up on his patient Alonso, and he will continue making his effort. His efforts might fail to yield results, but he will not give up. He will continue trying time and again, till he was able to pull Alonso out of grief. Sebastian says, look, he is winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike. Again, he is cynical. So he is, Gonzalo has gone quiet for a minute. So he says that, it's like winding your watch to make it work. So he says that he is winding up the clock of his wit so that he can strike again, make another effort to make Alonso feel better. So 1, 2. Now tell refers to, he's like counting 1, 2, and now goes Gonzalo, starts with his speech. When every grief is entertained that's offered comes to the entertainer. Now here, now you need to understand what Gonzalo is wanting to say. And when he is interrupted by Sebastian, he is just being cynical. He's trying to make fun of Gonzalo. So what Gonzalo wants to say is that when every entertainer here refers to a person who entertains grief. Entertains grief means nurtures grief. All right. When a person who nurtures grief within himself, in the end gets nothing but grief. Dola refers to grief. So what he meant to say was that any person who entertains, nurtures grief within his heart, in the end will get nothing but dola, means nothing but grief. You nurture grief, what comes back to you is grief. So here he says dollar. All right. Now Sebastian says dollar. Now he has the word entertainer. When Gonzalo speaks it, that is used as a pun. When Gonzalo speaks the word entertainer, he meant to say a person who entertains grief means nurtures grief. But when Sebastian says dollar, he talks of entertainer as a person who entertains and for entertaining gets $1 in return, gets paid. An artist who entertains and gets $1 as a payment. So when Gonzalo says that a person who entertains grief, what returns to the entertainer, Sebastian says, is $1. And he meant to say that entertainer, performer, gets $1 for his performance. And Gonzalo says Dola comes to him. Now, what he meant to say Dola was grief. Now, what comes to him is a person who entertains grief, grief returns to him. And indeed, you have spoken truer than you purposed. Now, here he is, in a way, rebuking Sebastian by saying that, whatever you spoke in cynicism, but it seems to be coming out of your mouth very truly. It seems to be making sense, though he did not intend to make that sense. But yes, whatever he spoke made sense to the statement. Therefore, my lord, fie, what a spendthrift is he of his tongue. Now, again, he is calling Gonzalo a spendthrift. Why spendthrift? Because he is very lavish, very extravagant with the use of words. He is continuously speaking even when there is no one who is listening to him. Alonso is so lost in his grief that he doesn't want to hear anything being said by Gonzalo. No words of comfort seem to comfort him, so he doesn't want to hear Gonzalo. While Sebastian and Antonio are just making fun of him. Yet Gonzalo is continuously speaking, trying to make Alonso feel better. So he is called a spendthrift of tongue, extravagant with his tongue speech. Alonso again asks Gonzalo to spare him, not to talk to him, not to speak to him. He wants peace. Well, I have done, but yet he will be talking. Now, Gonzalo wants to make another attempt to make Alonso feel better. And Sebastian says, when nobody is talking to him, even then Gonzalo will go on talking. Which of he and Adrian, for a good wager, first began to crow? The old cock, the cockerel. Now here, Antonio and Sebastian, mockingly, they bet on which courtier will speak first. All right. And he says that let's bet who will first begin to speak. Which courtier will first begin to speak. Now, Sebastian says the old cock, meaning Gonzalo, and Antonio puts his bet on the cockerel. Cockerel meaning the young one, who is Edred. So both of them have a bet to say, both of them choose one name. One chooses Gonzalo, the other Adrian. Now they have a bet to see who speaks first. Now Antonio means to say that both of them are great talkers, both Gonzalo and Adrian. So it will be an interesting point to have a bet on who will break the silence, who will speak first, whether it will be the old cock Gonzalo or the young cockerel Adrian. Now, done means the bet is done, and the wager is a laughter. Now, wager is what will they, wager is like the amount of the bet. So he says it will be a laughter. All right, a match. Match is okay, I accept that bet. Now then, though this desert seems to be desert, Sebastian says, ha ha, so you are paid. Now here they had made a bet who will speak first, and so Antonio wins the bet and Sebastian loses, because when they had bet who will speak first, Antonio had said the cockerel, that is the young cock will speak, that is Adrian will speak. And suddenly Adrian starts speaking that though this island looks very deserted. So Sebastian starts to laugh and he says that Antonio has won the bet, and Sebastian has paid his bet by giving him a good laughter. So Adrian calls this island to be deserted, uninhabitable, and almost inaccessible. Now Sebastian says, yet he could not miss it. That is, Adrian is such a speaker that anything said by Sebastian, he will repeat it. It must need be of subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. Describing the island, Adrian says that the island is of gentle, tender, and delicate climate. Now, Adrian, by mistake, uses the word temperance for the word temperature. And this gives Antonio a chance to dig him on this mistake. And therefore, he jokes temperance was a delicate wench. Now, temperance is the quality of being temperate, moderate. Now, in the times of the Puritans, they used to give the girls names like purity, virtue, temperance. Such kind of names were given to girls. So here he is joking and saying that temperance was a good girl. Now, Adrian is trying to find blessing in whatever has happened to them. So he's trying to show that whatever has happened is not the worst that could have happened. Though this island is deserted, uninhabitable, and inaccessible, yet he wants to say that the air is quite sweet here.